Well, that happens in any family, big or small. Hello, my name is Tara. I'm a Christian wife, homeschool mom of 10, almost 11 children, and apparently a dead mouse just got found. Okay, we'll tell you what, after I finish talking to my friends, I'll help you clean it up. If it's dead, it's not going anywhere. We live in an 1885 old house that we've been renovating since we moved in 6 years ago. So sometimes you find some little odd things that, you might have found in the urban environment we lived in before. Anyway, I'm going a little bit early today. I normally would do this at 11:30 live in the Big Family Moms group. Today, though, I have an appointment. So here I am live bright and early. Whether you're catching this now live with me, feel free to pop into the chat. We can chat a little bit at the end of today's talk. Today, we'll be talking about big family babysitting blues, something I hear a lot and I have walked through in the early years of having 3 under 3, 5 under 5, 7 under 7, especially as your family gets bigger. It can be challenging to navigate the babysitting world when you don't have a conventionally small family. Hey, buddy. This is my 7-year-old. Luke, hello. Hey, I'm talking to my friends. May I have some space? Okay. You gonna go do some Lego? Perfect. So before I dive into it, a reminder, because there's only 72 hours left in this week's giveaway, exclusive in the Big Family Moms group, linked in today's video. I am giving away my most hot in demand Mom of Many Method mini course, How to Organize Your Big Family Home. So if you would like to enter into that giveaway so you can win that course and help you get your home organized for your sanity, for your safety, so you can really, manage life with 3 or more kids and it's just not chaos all the time and stress and mess and, all of that stuff, you can get the course for free just by popping over to the group. I've got the giveaway pinned at the top with instructions on how to do that. Real quick, all you have to do is download the image and post it in your own profile with a link to the group, and boom, tell me that you're done in the group and you're in the giveaway. Like I said, it closes Sunday at midnight. The winner will be announced Monday. So there's that. Let's get into it. So like I said, I have walked this road, and now my oldest is 16, but there were many years when what would I have done for a babysitter, right? When it was easier said than done. Now, my mom we happen to live in the same town. And so I kind of saved those babysitting opportunities from her. I don't know, I like little chits, that I wasn't going to spend too much because I didn't want to, take advantage and kind of burn her out because, when she's in her 60s, now in her 70s, obviously doesn't have the same energy that she had in her 30s and 40s like I do. So with all of that said, it was hard to find a willing and available babysitter who wasn't, intimidated by the size of our family. Wasn't necessarily looking to charge per head per hour, which would have become exorbitant with our single income at the time. So yeah, I pretty much saved the babysitting favors that I had from my mom for medical appointments. I don't think maybe more than twice did I actually ask for a date babysitting thing. I only did them when I had to have help. So there were years when going on dates was easier said than done, and as much as it was an ideal, hear people talk about going on weekly date nights, I was like, ha ha, kind of half sardonically. Now, obviously, I'm not going to make an idol out of date nights. My husband and I did get creative during those years when we were having a baby back to back, and it was easier said than done when, you're nursing a baby and they're not necessarily magically on the bottle as soon as you would like them to be. You might have a babysitter, but your baby's like, I'm going to need you in T-2 hours, right? So we got creative, but I've got a couple pieces of advice to help you navigate the years if you're feeling the babysitter blues and you can't really find a babysitter easily for all of your kids. Your family may be not even willing or available. That's a whole other ball of yarn, right? When you're watching one family member, especially if they have less kids than you, get kind of the perks of the babysitting, and you might feel left out because there sometimes can be more baggage attached to this than just the simplicity of finding a babysitter. I just want you to know, I know the pain. I know the frustration. I know even the guilt when you're just like, oh, I just want to get away from my kids for a couple of hours. You love your kids at the same time. You're with them 24/7 as a full-time stay-at-home mom, especially if you've, embraced the blessing of children as I have, and the Lord is sending children on average every 18 to 24 months. You start to feel that after a couple of years. So I get that. I'm with you. You're getting the love from me. So here's some piece of advice. If someone says to me, hey, Tara, how did you deal with the big family babysitter blues, especially in those earlier years, right? When it was 7 under 7 in a 900 square foot home. And boy, what I would have done for, just even once a month to have a babysitter on any kind of regular basis that wasn't for a medical appointment. Well, one was, now that I'm a little bit older, a little further down my life timeline, I have perspective, right? Like anything in life. And I can look back and see that was real. There were times when it was rough. It also was a season, right? Like when you're in the thick of winter, I live in Canada, our winter lasts on average 6 months, half the year. And let me tell you, as soon as Christmas is over and January comes and the lights are down and everything's just like brown slush everywhere, I'm ready for this season to be over. We could have spring anytime. And I see other people who live in different climates and they're welcoming daffodils in February. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we have, 30 centimeters of snow coming in. And it's a season though, because I've lived through many Canadian winters. I know this too shall pass. And I know that the season of very little littles does pass. I know that my nursing newborn will get to 6 or 8 months old. And yeah, I could pop out between nursings. I can figure it out because I have a little bit of perspective that comes with time. Now, that being said, when comparison can be the thief of joy. I love that quote. I don't even know who said it. I certainly did, and I only heard it. But when I found I would just compare myself to the ease of, like I talked about on Wednesday, the small family and the envy was there. I was just creating all kinds of angst within myself. So one thing kind of internally that you can do, you may not be able to change the age, the stage of your situation. You may not immediately be able to snap your fingers and have more income to pay for a babysitter. But you can change your perspective. Say, God has brought me to this, and He will give me grace and wisdom for your specific situation, whatever that looks like for you. I'm talking to my friends. I will talk to you after, okay? Oh, we'll just go throw it out then. Put it in the garbage. He picked up the dead mouse in a piece of paper and folded it up like a little package. Thanks, Luke. That was really creative. Go wash your hands after. Oh, just drop the whole thing in the garbage, buddy. Yeah, that's a dead mouse. Just drop the whole thing in the garbage. Thank you. Little thing. Oh, so perspective. Number 2, and this is my last piece of advice. It's encouraging you to get creative, because once you believe something is possible, once you believe that God has brought you to this, He'll bring you through this, and He will also give you creativity in the midst of your situation. Now you've opened up not only your mind, but your heart, right, to the possibility that maybe there's a way you haven't thought of yet. If we just compare ourselves to a small family counterpart and we're like $5 ahead on average in my world per child, and that can get crazy when you think about 7 kids, right? That's $35 an hour. You just want to go for a movie. Next thing you know, you're spending close to $100 just for your babysitter. And in the younger years, when you're building things up with maybe just a single income on a lean, modest salary or a job, and I mean, today we all know today's job market is very unstable. That can be just unthinkable, right? You're like, no, I guess I can't afford a babysitter. So here's a couple tips. One is, if family's not an option for one way or shape or form, widen your circle. That's certainly what I did. I kind of got over myself, maybe this fear or shame, thinking people would scorn me for having all these kids. I widened my circle of possibility by very just graciously asking when someone would be like, oh, Terry, is there anything I can do to help you? And I was like, yes, as a matter of fact. How would you feel about coming over to babysit for a couple of hours on a Saturday afternoon so Gavin and I could go out and catch a matinee? I just would ask. And sometimes I'd be like, oh, I think I could do that. I'd love to do that and help you out for that. I'd be great. We're on a limited income, but I'd like to thank you. How would you feel about this? And sometimes they'd be like, oh, no, honey, like they go to my church, please, no, it's my pleasure to give. I'm like, really? That is a handsome gift. So one was just being willing to ask, especially when people say, how can I help you? You just had a new baby. Is there anything you need? Yes, actually. Would you be willing to come over for an afternoon so I can slip out for a couple of hours? I just asked, and some people stepped up to the plate very graciously, sometimes even surprising me by saying, no, please, I insist. It's a gift. Hey, Gloria. Would you get... Okay, well, would you get down, please? Because you're up really high on that stool. Sit down? Okay. I'm almost done. I'll talk to you when I'm all done. Will you draw me a picture? She's got a pen. So far, so good. She hasn't cut on herself. It happens. It's not the end of the world. So get creative. Next is when it comes to the money side of it, rather than doing like per head, just offer a flat rate. Whatever is within your means. Most people, again, are very gracious, and they're happy to come alongside you. If they're just some kind of cutthroat capitalist and they're in it for the money, maybe they're not the right babysitter for you, and that's okay. But if you just offer what's within your means, or maybe even do oh, Gloria, shh, quiet, please. Off your face, no pen on your face. Thank you. Just kind of rubbing it on her nose. Flat rate or exchange of goods and services. My husband happens to be a handyman, and there are lots of people who are like, hey, if your husband could like install this microwave real quick for me, that would be very handsome, and then we could just kind of do a tradesy, right? Maybe you have something within your skill set that you could offer in return. Maybe there's something you could do for them or they could do for you. You could just do a tradesies, because then you don't have to worry about cash if your cash resources happen to be meager. And I get it, been there, done that. Lastly, if this really just comes down to money, right? Because money solves money problems. Won't solve all your problems, won't fix your broken relationship with, a loved one. It won't necessarily like heal the pain of the past, but money does solve money problems. That's another talk for another day. But I do want to recommend to you, if this really boils down to like, there are people in my life who would babysit, and I feel like I want to pay them what they're worth. Then you just want to work on building some more money, right? I know I make it sound so simple, but here's the deal. I came to that point, the big family too, where I was like, there are things I'd like to do with my family. There's vacations I'd like to go on. There's little treats we'd like to buy, rather than sitting in envy. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. You were coloring on the wall. Please stop. All right. You want to come in my arms? Okay, keep coloring. There were things I wanted to do. And rather than sit in envy, like I said, comparison being the thief of joy, I got creative and I began to find a way. First of all, because I believed that God had brought me to this big family, blessed me with this big family. He promised to provide like a good shepherd. And rather than just sit around feeling sorry for myself and just settling, I was like, I would like to do more. I would like to give more. I would like to live more. I'm going to get creative. And there's a zillion million options out there, not all of them for everybody. But I have a course where I really walk through it. First of all, how to make it work on what you got. And then if it's not enough and you desire more, some creative suggestions of how you could go about doing that. In a very, works with a big family schedule, works with homeschooling, works with the small number of hours the average big family stay-at-home mom has. So I'm going to recommend that course to you today. I'm going to put a link below after the video. So if you'd like to check that out, it's called How to Feed Your Big Family on a Budget. And it's more than just the food, because if you can get the food budget down, all of a sudden opens up all kinds of stuff, right? For like savings and special things like vacations, or maybe not being scared next time, you have to buy shoes for 7 children. So there's that's there to serve you and help you, because like I said, most of the time, when you find somebody, it's just paying them, right? And there's that. Once you solve that problem, it takes a lot of stress off for the big family mom. Like I've said before, super unprepared for motherhood, especially big family motherhood. And oh my goodness, yeah, I thought it would be so easy. But once we started having a bunch of kids and then having to figure out the babysitter portion just so I could get out once a month, it was an emotional journey. It took some guts just to like humble myself and ask and not feel embarrassed about the fact that I was asking for help. So if you struggle with that, you're like, I chose to have all these kids and I guess I should just suck it up and take it. That could be a breeding ground for resentment. You want to be careful about that, because as a big family mom, we have our own unique challenges, our own unique struggles. So feel free to check out that course. That will help you certainly on the financial side of it. And feel free to comment below in today's video. Have you had the big family babysitter blues? Have you, gone over? Look at this in the chat. I'm just opening my group right now because I said at the end of this, I would open the chat. But for some reason, in the tool I'm using, it doesn't tell me who's talking. It just says Facebook user. Like, we're anonymous, but we're not anonymous. We're all here together. I actually want to engage. Here we go. Who's chatting with me? Katrina, hi, good morning. Date nights, right? What's that? I know. But the last time I went on date was for my birthday, actually, because now I have a 16-year-old. But I understood there was a time when I did not have a 16-year-old, and it was easier said than done. So we got creative. We found a way, like I talked about today. Aww. Yeah, I got lots of little helpers in the house right now, Katrina. Yeah. Do you want to come say hi? Here we go. This is Gloria, my only curly-haired, blue-eyed baby in the family. Want to say hello?
Hi.
Hi. Well, Katrina, it was so nice to meet you live today. God bless you. I hope that this has helped you. Feel free to comment below how it has and other ways I can help you. And you can check out that course if you'd like to work on the money side of things, to just give yourself some space and some grace to overcome that particular struggle that big families really feel. God bless you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you in the group. Take care.